It is Thursday, the 16th of December. Welcome to Mornings on 6 News. I'm Leonardo Puglisi. We begin today in Victoria with changes to the state's COVID-19 restrictions coming into effect at 11:59pm local time last night. Mandatory vaccine rules have eased in most retail settings across the state, while those under 18 will no longer have to show their vaccine status to get into any venues. Face masks will no longer have to be worn at weddings, funerals, and other ceremonial settings, but they are still mandatory for workers in hospitality settings, both workers and customers in retail settings, visiting a hospital, catching public transport, and for workers who work in abattoir, meat, seafood, and poultry processing sites. Changes to mask rules for retail were supposed to come into effect, but officials say that isn't happening due to the spread of the Omicron variant. On the subject of Omicron, New South Wales recorded 1,360 new COVID cases yesterday, 110 of those confirmed to be Omicron. Hospitalisations, however, are down. Authorities say they remain, quote, concerned about the escalation in COVID transmission in the Newcastle area, with venues linked to cases who are likely to have the Omicron variant of concern. Anyone who attended Finnegan's Hotel from 6:30pm on Friday, December 10, up until 2:30am on Saturday, December 11, is considered a close contact and must immediately get tested and isolate for 7 days. Today's numbers will be released by New South Wales Health at 9am Eastern Time. WA authorities are already reacting swiftly to the rising cases. On social media, Premier Mark McGowan says that case numbers are, quote, rising rapidly following a number of super spreader events. The New South Wales government has eased restrictions on the unvaccinated, and their health minister is now predicting 25,000 cases per day by the end of January. As a result of that, New South Wales will be elevated to an extreme risk category from 12:01am on December 18. That means exemptions for approved travellers will be restricted to certain government and specialist workers or extraordinary circumstances deemed by either the state's emergency coordinator or the state's chief health officer. McGowan says it's important to note arrivals from New South Wales were already required to do 12 days quarantine at home under the current border settings, but the move to extreme will mean it must be done in hotel quarantine. He says he wants WA to remain COVID-free until we, quote, safely ease our borders. That's on February 5 next year. New South Wales Police have ended their latest search for missing boy William Tyrell after searching through bushland and waterways near Kendall for more than 4 weeks. The toddler was last seen playing in a Spider-Man suit outside his foster grandmother's home on Benaroon Drive 7 years ago. Now, one of the most important, significant developments from these searches was that a car belonging to the Tyrrell's late foster grandmother was seized, police believing the car may have actually been used to transfer the boy's body. A $1 million reward remains in place for information that leads to the recovery of Tyrell. German Health Minister Karl Lauterbach says the country has not ordered enough vaccines nor stocked enough to keep its COVID vaccination campaign going right through the start of 2022 as cases in the country and right across Europe continue to rise. Last week, Germany saw its highest number of daily COVID deaths recorded since February. Unvaccinated people have now been banned from accessing non-essential businesses such as such as supermarkets, amid some reports that authorities are actually considering making the jab mandatory as early as February next year. Just under 70% of Germans are fully vaccinated, according to CNN. The Bureau of Meteorology has forecast an extreme heat wave across northern Western Australia and the NT sometime in the next week, along with severe conditions in parts of New South Wales, Queensland and South Australia. According to The Guardian, Broken Hill, Dubbo and Katherine and Alice Springs actually are all going to see some of the hottest conditions, even in their 40s, while Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra and Brisbane are all likely to hit around or above 30 degrees on the weekend. 37 expected in Adelaide, but some mild conditions are expected today as we head to the national map, where Brisbane is heading for a partly cloudy top of 31. Showers expected, 21 in Sydney, 27 in Canberra, 20 in heavy rain in Melbourne, 19 at Hobart, sunny and 28 in Adelaide, 38 degrees in Alice Springs, 23 in Perth, and in Darwin a warm top of 34. And that is mornings for this Thursday. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll be back Sunday night at 8pm Eastern Time. I will, of course, have the latest headlines on social media 24/7 and at our website 6newsau.com. I'm Leonardo Puglisi. Have a great day.